Hello everybody and welcome to SquareBalloon Actions and Tutorials. In this tutorial I'm going to give a quick run through of my wall display guides and how to use them. So we have this first one here, which is a template of picture sizes, and it'll help your clients to see what size images will look in relation to each other on their walls. If you want to add any new sizes to this, you'll see on the top layer we have a hidden size guide, and when you click on the visibility of that, you can see that it is set out in a 10-inch block, and each inch is shown as well. So if you want to make a new size, you can click on the shape icon over here, and you can just, if you want to do a 10-inch print, you can just resize it. You can line it up to that and then resize it so that it's the same size. And for this we can take off snap so that you can size it more easily, and then double click to make that. And then of course if you want to make it, I don't know, say like 8 inches, a 10 by 8, you can then just stretch it out to 8. So there's a 10 by 8. So that's the size guide. Let's just we won't apply that. Let's just take that off and take the visibility of that off again. So what we want to do now is I want to show you how to replace these images here with your own images that you might have taken. So I've opened a few here and I'm going to replace it with this one. First thing that I want to do with my image is I want to resize it. So I have my resize for web action, and I'm going to double click on image size because I want to make this, well, probably 400. So with this action, if you click on image size, whatever you change here will be automatically changed for the next time you use it because it records. So let's say okay, at 400 is okay. So once we have that as 400 pixels wide, it's probably small enough to go in. And in the layers, we can see, if we scroll down, well, we want to put this image here in the 30 by 45 gap. So we scroll down until we see that. So 30 by 45, that's the shape, that's that size. And the layer above it, it says place 30 by 45 image below this and delete. So that's where we want that image to go. So we have to get our image, which is all the way up at the top here. We're just going to drag it down. And we put it in between those two there. So when we delete this top one, or we can just knock the visibility off, we can then move that within that shape and it won't go beyond the edges of it. If we hold down Shift, we can resize it to fit, and we just want it to be overlapping just a little bit around the edges, because if it's not overlapping we'll be able to see the shape below it, so we don't want that. So we just do it so it's overlapping just a little bit, and then we can just click on our toolbar to apply that. So we'll do it again with this one here. So this is the 30 by 30 inch section. So we find that in our layers. So 30 by 30, get our image, get the move tool, we slide it in, we knock the visibility off of the top layer, and then we resize. Holding down Shift will mean that it'll stay with its own correct proportions. And you can do that with each of them. Now there's other things that are editable in this. You can change the color of the sofa. You can click on sofa color. And the quickest way to do that is if you go into Image Adjustments, Hue Saturation, and you can just change the hue. You can slide that up and down, and you can also change the saturation of it. So if you have colors that you use for your in your branding, you can change around this to suit that, and you can also change the wall color in the same way. Image Adjustments, Hue Saturation, and change the wall color. And you can, there's a wall texture there as well, which you can take on and off. Let me just tidy this up a bit. And you can also take out things like the lamp there, the vases on the other side. You can take them out if you don't want them, if you just want a simpler look. So they're the ways that that's editable. So we go into the sitting room one now, and in this one, this is a useful one if you're selling frames, and you can show how different frames will look beside each other, and just general picture grouping. This also has a hidden size guide if you want to make new frames, and you can also, if you want, you can take all the frames out just by clicking on the visibility of the frame, and you can change the pictures inside there in the same way. So if I wanted to move this picture that I have here up into this 30 by 20 inch print area, I can just go into the layers, find that 30 by 20 inch print, and as I did with the last one, I'm going to resize this for the web. I'm going to change the image size to 72 and say 400. That might be a little bit big, but I'll just use my move tool to bring that across, and we can see that that's moved into the right place there in between those two. So I'll take the visibility off of that and resize my image to where I want it to be. And you can go around and do the same with all the others. So the last one that we have is this one here, and these shapes are styled to look like gallery wraps or canvases. So that's all in the layer style there. So if you want to change that, let's just change the layer style of this 30 by 40 canvas. If you click on the little FX icon at the side there, we can see that the one that's checked is bevel and emboss, and we can change the depth of that, and we can change the size of it, and we can soften it or make it sharper. You can see how that's affecting that. And if we want to take that wood floor out, you can, no problem. And so let's put in this image here. So again, I'm going to go and resize that, 72 dpi, and let's change it to say 400. Use the move tool to bring it in, and let's see where that is. So it is in between the place 30 by 40 image, between this one and the one below it, and then delete it. So that's what we've done, and we can just move that into place and resize it like that. So that's how you can use those three display templates.